So I'm almost kind of getting tired of myself. I think what's going to happen is somebody's going to pull into favor one day at 355 Woodruff Road, and I'm going to be in the parking lot kicking my own ass. I get tired of getting on here and talking. I probably talk way too much. I probably post way too much. I probably, self-promote way too much, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm getting on here today, and I'm going to another funeral today. And no matter where you are and where you're watching this, you probably know countless people who have lost this battle. And every time this goes on, every time I go to a funeral, or every time I hear about one of these issues, I think about my own kids. And I think about how hard it is to be a parent, and how much you feel judged as a parent in general, even when things are going okay. As we live in this status-obsessed, image-driven world, where when you meet somebody at the grocery store, the first thing they want to do is tell you how their kid just got a full scholarship to Harvard for competitive pogo stick jumping. Like I give a shit. And you have people who don't even have kids who want to have an opinion on how to raise kids. And you have, we all kind of grew up in the helicopter parenting era. So it's a mess to raise children as it is. And then imagine losing a kid to this disease and the things that must go through parents' mind. Did I do a good job? Should I have let him hang out with that kid? Should I let him hang out with with those other kids? Oh my gosh, how did I not catch these red flags? What could we have done different? And then you add that to a system that's completely 100% inadequate and really doesn't actually have answers. And you're left just holding the bag. And then you get all this pushback from society and all these people out there talking about addiction's not a disease, and the big debates that go on. And that must really mess with parents even more. Because if it's not a disease, well then absolutely it was a moral failing. And if it's a moral failing in my kid, then it's a moral failing in me. So the first thing I want to say here's the deal, the bottom line deal with all the folks out there saying it's not a disease. They're just, look, we all understand they're assholes, right? And they're really probably not even into that. They're just trying to capture some attention. It's a way for them to try to stay relevant and for them to get their video put on Facebook. So we gotta put those folks off to the side. But we gotta have incredible compassion for parents who've lost a child to this disease. I mean, I can't imagine losing a child to any disease, or even spouses who've lost a spouse to this disease. I know anybody dying early, that's a problem. I get that. And I have great compassion for everyone. But I'm telling you, the psychological implications of losing someone to addiction, they're beyond an understanding. And you know what? I also would put in there any kind of mental health issue, suicide, all these stigma-laden issues that as a society, as in America, we haven't even approached really trying to figure out or embrace. You don't talk about it at church. You don't receive it. Nobody comes over and gives you a casserole when your child's diagnosed with an addiction issue. Nobody comes by and sits for a while and comforts you. What they do is they judge you, or at least you feel that they judge you. I'd like to think here in Greenville, South Carolina, we're trying to blow the lid off of that. I'd like to think that anything else I'm involved with nationally, we're trying to blow the lid off of it. And there's a lot of good work being done. But I just wanted to share this, and I wanted to tell you, we're going to work really hard to provide new answers and new solutions. And when I say we, of course I mean Favor Greenville here in Greenville, South Carolina. But we have a plan for the nation. We have a plan for all parts of the country. And it involves technology. It involves real, effective, pragmatic health coaching. It doesn't involve sitting back and waiting for people to show up in our clinic or show up in our office. But really what I wanted to say today was I'm sorry for your loss. If you've gone through this, I'm sorry. And we will do better.